You know, I say this as a pro Sean O'Malley person. I'm not totally against Sean O'Malley. In fact, I like the idea of the star that he could become authentically. But the UFC pushing him in this way is just I agree with the fan base on where they're like, this is the title fight we did not ask for. And you're only doing Merab a favor. Now, I always fence ride. I know. You never know what could happen in a fight. Maybe Sean O'Malley is going to go for the body shots early, and if Merab doesn't check those, that could cause the trajectory of the fight to go out the window. But Merab also does shoot for takedowns. If he gets Sean O'Malley to the ground, there probably won't be any body shots. So we'll really have to see where it goes. Depends if Sean really prepared for this rematch. But I think it's highly unlikely that he's truly prepared for it at this point. That's why I have him as a slight underdog. Not as big of an underdog as people think it's going to be, because I don't want to underestimate the Sugar Show, because people have been underestimating the Sugar Show repeatedly, and no one thought he was going to be champion when he first hit the scene and he was fighting non-ranked guys. But as he climbed the rankings, it happened. And congratulations to Sean O'Malley for even getting the belt to begin with. I never thought he was going to do that. So I'm not counting him out completely this time. But the way the UFC has seasoned Merab Dvalishvili to be this unstoppable force, it's almost like what they did with Bo Nickel. They catered to him, gave him favorable matchups. And then when he fought Renier de Ritter, that's when he really got exposed, and he was shown that how fast him being pushed had hurt his potential. And now Bo Nickel is probably going to be waiting for the winner or the loser of Joe Pyfer versus Calvin Gastelum. And if Sean O'Malley loses this fight, I think his title aspirations are going to be out the window for quite some time. Because then Merab's only going to probably have to face Umar Nurmagomedov a second time. And then he's probably going to move up to featherweight if he wants to go crazy. But with O'Malley, they should have given him Corey Sandhagen first. That was the fight that would have been a main event worth selling on just any normal UFC fight night in a live audience. Not an Apex, but a live audience. I think a lot of people would have tuned in to see that, like a stacked card. It would have been the perfect machine because, one, I do think Sean O'Malley has what it takes to beat Corey Sandhagen. He could also lose to Corey, though. I don't want to sleep on Corey because Corey Sandhagen has shown nothing but his best self these past few fights. Like, he's gaining momentum back. So if he were to face Sean O'Malley, I say it would be a 50-50 split. They're having some really interesting stylistic clash-ups with their build. The two long, lanky guys at bantamweight. It is going to be, that would have been an amazing fight. But they robbed that potential. It could still happen. I honestly still hope it happens. But I feel like Corey Sandhagen has more than earned his shot at the bantamweight belt, especially after defeating Deiveson Figueiredo. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Because they have pushed Sean like this, he's not as experienced as he could be to be the guy to derail Merab. Potentially. We don't know. We don't know where this fight's going to go. But the only reason I'm saying this is with Merab and why you gave him Umar Nurmagomedov on his first shot, thinking it was going to be a landslide for Umar, and it turns out it wasn't because these Georgians are the Dagestanis kryptonite, and it's starting to show. Like, honestly, like Islam Makhachev, let's say Ilia Topuria beats Charles Oliveira, which is what I think is going to happen. Ilia Topuria is going to give Islam Makhachev a whole mess of issues. I think it's probably going to go in Ilia Topuria's favor. But now these Georgians are here, and they are taking over the Dagestani legacy that's been in the UFC. Merab included. And right now, just from fair assessment, I just see Merab retaining the title. And if this is true, Sean's not going to have any public fluff. He's going to be known as the guy that was kind of pampered by the UFC and then lost because of it. And you know how people online love to hate. They're going to jump all over that. If the UFC really cared about Sean O'Malley, they would have at least given him a season fight to justify a title shot. So that way, if he were to fall short, at least he would have some redemption to the fans. But the way the fans are nowadays, if he loses, I just see him getting all kinds of hate. So that's why I just think that Sean O'Malley is in a must-win spot right now. But that's what I got to say. It is what it is. I don't get a say in what any main event is, but I've seen the public backlash this one has gotten, and no offense to the Sugar Show. I am pro Sugar Show. I think that he has brought something to the UFC, especially pink custom shorts. I actually thought that was way better looking than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, they're just not doing the Sugar Show any justice by doing all this. But that's what I got to say. Peace out. See you later.